How's it going there, guys? Earthmaster here, September 8th, 2017, 3:50 p.m. here on the West Coast. Gonna do an earthquake video update and cover a little bit of Hurricane Irma, which is currently, I believe, still at a Category 4 hurricane strength. I did have a eye redevelopment, so it slowed down in intensity a little bit. Current wind speed to 155 miles per hour, gust up to 190 west at 12 miles per hour. But first, let's go ahead and cover the earthquake activity that's going on following that 8.1 earthquake in southern Mexico, just off the coast right there. Definitely a large amount of aftershocks, which is expected following that 8.1 earthquake. I can zoom in here a little bit further and show you guys exactly the area of interest that we're looking for right here. A little bit older earthquakes down here, but looking at 61 earthquakes, about 61 aftershocks. Let's get rid of those couple ones over there. So it brings it down to about 55 earthquakes total for this region. Mostly 4s and 5s. I don't believe they had anything larger than that. As far as the largest aftershock goes, I believe it was a 5.3. Not 100% sure. Actually had quite a few 5.3s there. 5.7 actually, following that 8.1 near this town, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, there in Mexico. So a lot of activity. It has been quiet along this section, this trench section, for quite some time, but as always, Mother Nature will do what she wants to, and you know, there's really no way to predict this type of activity, this type of big earthquake. But it just happened to go when it wanted to let loose there, guys. I do know that there's still quite a bit of pressure being applied up around the Idaho region. Now, whether, you know, basically, I think there's a lot of pressure being applied up here along the western coast, guys, which probably would include a little bit of activity down here, right? If you got this Pacific plate over here to the west trying to move east, you know, who's to say that this fault section right here isn't completely locked, and this just happened to be the weak spot where the earthquake decided to slip right there. In any case, there's still continued pressure being applied along this western North American continent over here from the west, the Pacific plate. Continuing to watch the activity in Idaho. It looks like Oklahoma still seeing a little bit of activity as well, which is obviously a sign of the continued pressure from the west. I haven't checked the slow slip events. Let's go ahead and check those real quick, see if we have any kind of movement. Right now, station appears to be, well, no movement. No slow slip movement at all along the west coast for 9/7, which was yesterday. Interesting activity there. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. As always, everyone knows the Cascadia subduction zone there being locked and loaded, and you know, just a scary situation that could unfold there at any time, and without warning. Jumping over to Hurricane Irma, here is the current status on Hurricane Irma. Category 4 hurricane, winds of 155 miles per hour, gust up to 190, moving west at 12 miles per hour. This is expected to change here. That's coming from a 1.6, it looks like, correct? Although that thing gave off about 3 bells right there. Not for sure why. I'm going to have to check that and see what's going on with that. Should have gave off maybe, with it being a 1.6, possibly 1 or 2 bells at the most there. So, but getting back to the Hurricane Irma status, this is expected to change. The westward direction is going to switch rapidly once it gets caught up here in the shear and the jet stream, which will ultimately force it northward directly over Florida directly over the Miami area as a Category 4 hurricane. That's possible this thing is going to strengthen back to Category 5 over the next, well, over the next day or so. Definitely going to watch that very closely. I always like to show the model guidance right here so we can get a pretty good idea of exactly what we're looking at as far as forecasting model goes. This site right here called Tropical Tidbits is a very awesome predictive model. I use it quite a bit when I'm out there storm chasing. You can see it there reaching the southern coast and then being pulled northward directly over the state of Florida. And then dissipating or weakening as it goes further northward. So basically a worst case scenario for the Florida region, as well the entire state down there, southern section is going to be completely covered with these high winds and of course heavy rainfall. So you know, if you guys know anybody down there, make sure they get the heck out of there. It's a very serious situation unfolding down there in the Florida region. And then it just disappears. And also we need to watch this other one down here for any type of further, well, it's definitely a strong hurricane right now. But we'll keep an eye on that one here a little bit later if we need to. Of course, there's hurricane warnings all over the place, guys. Watches and warnings, and it's just a big deal. Definitely something you need to watch out for. If you are within that area, hopefully you're not watching and sitting down there right in the middle of the potential impact landfall zone. Beautiful hurricane. Like I said, it did have an eye redevelopment there, and once it goes through that stage, it's very possible, with it being over very warm waters, to intensify back into a Category 5 hurricane. We'll have to keep an eye on that and hope for the best out there for those folks down in Florida. Rest of the globe, and the activity goes, well, solar weather is looks like it's dwindling down a little bit following those couple of X-class flares we had there a couple days ago with a strong X 9.3 flare. Here's a 3-day forecast for storm activity. G2, and then it drops down just a tad bit there, but still a 50% chance. You're still stating a 50% chance of an X-class flare. Okay, now I know the bells are messed up. But anyway, guys, stop on by the live stream here. That was not a 5-pointer. That was actually a 1.2 coming there into the Southern California region. Stay tuned for more updates on Hurricane Irma and the continued earthquake activity following that 8.1 earthquake in southern Mexico. I'm going to get off here, upload this video, and fix those bells. Have a good day, guys. We'll chat at y'all a little bit later.